Welcome to Georgia! Georgia, a country where Europe meets Asia, where ancient history merges with modern vibrancy, and where the beauty of nature takes your breath away. This is the land of legends, warriors, poets, and kings. Let's join us as we embark on a journey to explore its geography, history, landscapes, world records, inventions, culture, heritage, cuisines, and many more. So let's start. Georgia, strategically located in the South Caucasus region at the borderline of Europe and Asia. It is bordered by Russia to the north, Azerbaijan to the southeast, Armenia to the south, and Turkey to the southwest. The western edge of the country is kissed by 310-kilometer coastline of Black Sea. Georgia boasts a rich history that dates back to ancient times. The region was home to early human settlements as far back as 1.8 million years ago, and it became a center of early Christianity in the 4th century. Over centuries, Georgia experienced numerous invasions, including those by Persians, Arabs, Mongols, and Ottomans. Yet it managed to preserve its distinct culture and identity. The Kingdom of Georgia reached its zenith during the 12th and 30th century under the reign of King David IV and Queen Tamar. This reign was known as the Georgian Golden Age, a period of cultural flourishing and military success. However, the kingdom later fragmented and fell under foreign domination, including centuries of Persian and Ottoman control before being annexed by the Russian Empire in 19th century. After a brief period of independence following the Russian Revolution, Georgia was incorporated into the Soviet Union in 1921, and then finally, on 9th of April 1991, Georgia officially regains its independence. But do you know, Georgians celebrate their independence on 26th of May, because May 26, 1918 marks Georgia's first declaration of independence from Russian Empire. If we talk about area and population, Georgia's area is 6,97,000 square kilometers and population is more than 3.8 million people. But do you know that 1/3 of the country's population lives in Tbilisi, which is the most populous and capital city of Georgia? You don't believe that Tbilisi is one of the oldest cities in the world, with a history dating back over 1500 years. Tbilisi is also home to stunning Semiba Cathedral, one of the largest Orthodox churches in the world, and Narikala Fortress, which offers breathtaking views of the city. Fertility rate is 2.007 children per woman in Georgia, and sex ratio is 100 males per 104 females. Georgia has very high Human Development Index and ranks on 60th number with 0.814 HDI. Georgia is also one of the cleanest and cheapest country in Europe, with too much low crime rate and very safe country. Now let's talk about the national things of Georgia. Georgian, also known as Kartuli, is the national language of Georgia. Chok and Saja is the national dress. Georgian lari is the official currency, Caucasian leopard is the national animal, and Caucasian black grouse is national bird. While satsui, national flower, oak is the national tree, and wrestling is the national game of Georgia. And Georgia has won total of 3 gold medals in freestyle wrestling. Georgia's literacy rate is very high. According to World Bank, 99.6% Georgians are literate. Let me know you, even Javan Kushvili, Tbilisi State University is the biggest and oldest university of Georgia, with more than 20,000 students, 5,000 staff members, and 180 educational programs. Georgia is a Christian majority country with 87.3% Christians, out of which 83.4% are Orthodox Christian. 10.7% population is Muslim and 2% are other religions. The Georgia's flag with white background and 5 red crosses. The large cross represents the cross of Saint George, and 4 equilateral crosses in the 4 quadrants represents 4 evangelists: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. This Eurasian country is full of beauty with sparkling mountains, temperate forests, historic caves, and mesmerizing lakes, rivers, and coastline. Do you know, more than 85% of Georgia is covered with mountains. Georgia is home to several mountain ranges, including the Great Caucasus and Lesser Caucasus Range. Mount Shkhara, with a height of 5,193 meters, is the highest peak of Georgia and 3rd highest in the Europe. Mount Shkhara is challenging to summit because of its steep slopes, unpredictable weather, and glaciers around it. Mount Kazbek, which is the most famous mountain of Georgia with a height of 5,047 meters, is known for its stunning scenery, glaciers, and the Kazbeki Church, a 40th century monastery on its most iconic and sacred mountain in Georgia, associated with ancient myths and legends. You don't believe Tbilisi, an ancient cave city in Georgia, is world's second oldest cave city, which was carved into volcanic rock, with over 7,000 caves and structures. It includes temples, churches, royal halls, wine cellars, and tombs, etc. UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Kilati Monastery, Savanthi Towers, Begrati Cathedral, and Tbilisi Old Town are the most popular historic buildings in Georgia. As I told you earlier, Georgia also shares coastline along Black Sea, so that's why there are many beaches along Black Sea. Batumi Beach, a popular urban beach in the heart of Batumi city, and Uruki Beach, a picturesque beach in the Goria region known for its black magnetic sand and scenic views, is famous all around the Georgia country. Lake Tetritascaro, a small crystal clear lake. Lake Paravni, the largest lake in Georgia, and Lake Ritsa, a picturesque lake in the Caucasus mountains surrounded by lush forests and hiking trails, are the best tourist destinations for nature lovers and photographers. If you are also planning to have a trip to Georgia, then don't forget to visit Savanthi region, located in northwest, famous for its breathtaking scenery, ancient traditions, hiking, trekking, and hospitality. It is one of the most picturesque destinations in Georgia. Tbilisi, Batumi, and Kutaisi are the biggest cities of Georgia. Georgia is most hospitable country. In fact, cities administrations hire university students for guiding the national and international tourists. You'll see these instructors wearing a special colored jacket. Now let's talk about modern Georgia. Modern Georgia has parliamentary form of government. Georgia is a woman-dominating country. You'll see women working everywhere. Georgia's economy depends upon agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and tourism as main industries. GDP growth rate is 4.5%. The country has been also pursuing closer ties with European Union, signing an association agreement in 2014 and aiming for eventual membership. Since the 2008 Bucharest summit, Georgia has been recognized as an aspirant country and has made significant strides in modernizing its military and aligning with NATO standards. In fact, in 2018, NATO recognized Georgia's progress, granting it a membership action plan, a key step towards full membership. Tbilisi International Airport is the busiest airport of Georgia, while Georgian Airways, also known as Air Georgia, is the flag carrier airline of Georgia. You don't believe that Georgia is the birthplace country of wine, with a rich wine production dating back over 8,000 years ago. There are more than 500 types of grape wine. Traditional wines made in clay vessels buried underground are the hallmarks of Georgian wine production. UNESCO declared Georgia's Qvevri fermented wine as intangible cultural heritage. Their wine is famous all around the world. The Georgian alphabet, which is also recognized by UNESCO, holds the record for being one of the longest and most distinctive in the world, with 33 alphabets, famous for its rich history, cultural significance, and beautiful calligraphy. Do you know Ushgul, a village in Georgia, is the highest permanently inhabited settlement in Europe, with an elevation of 2,200 meters up. The Bolnisi Sunni Church in Georgia is one of the oldest Christian churches in the world, dating back to 5th century. You don't believe that Georgians invented the first iron furnace and revolutionized metalworking. Georgian jewelers developed a unique technique of gold and silver filling. Do you know? Joseph Stalin, Soviet leader, who remained as Prime Minister of Soviet Union for 30 years from 1924 to 1953, was also born in Georgia. King David IV, also called David the Builder, was one of the greatest kings in Georgian history. Shota Rustaveli, Georgian poet and writer, also considered as the founder of Georgian literature, is one of the notable figures of Georgia. His poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin, got a top-notch. If we talk about national transport system, the Georgia has highways, motorways, national roads, and railways for transportation from cities to cities. For public transport, there are metro buses and taxis are available. The facility of tram service is also available in Tbilisi, the capital. If we talk about exports and imports of Georgia, the main exports of Georgia are wine, minerals, fruits, vegetables, and tourism services, while main imports are vehicles, machinery, electronics, and fuel. Now at the end, let's talk about the mouth-watering dishes and cuisines of Georgia. Khinkali, which is spice-filled meat and herbs dumpling, is the national dish of Georgia, famous all around the country. Khachapuri, a crispy and gooey bread, is also too much famous. Matswadi, shashlik, imruli, gozinaki, and lobio are famous in Georgia. Hospitality, cultural festivals, heritage, regional dresses, and cuisines is the collective culture of Georgia. Must visit this country of Caucasus region. Really enjoyed or learned anything from the video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe the video. Your feedback is the return of our hard work of many days. Keep watching authentic documentaries about countries because authenticity is the priority. Comment your country in comments box.